Rob Smith back again, and I'm joined with a fan favourite of the channel, Dacre Bradley, as he takes on Darnell Jackson. He looks to reclaim his Cage Warriors Academy bantamweight title. Dacre, how we doing, mate?
Doing great, yeah. I was saying to you the other day, like when I'm talking to you, I know we're getting close. I know it's that time. So yeah, happy to be back in fighting for the belt. Yeah, against a good opponent, and I'm sure it's going to be a great fight for people to watch. And yeah, just buzzing to get back in there. It's about time.
So let's talk about this fight with Darnell. Obviously, you're the former champion, he's the current champion. So talk to me, what sort of things you know about your opponent?
It's funny, actually. We've been aware of each other fighting on Cage Warriors Academy shows at the same time for quite a while. So had our own each other a bit. It's funny when I had the belt, he was saying he wanted to fight me for the belt. And then through like a chain of events, I lost the belt last December. Then he went and won the belt, and now we're fighting. So yeah, he's the champion, I'm the challenger, and yeah, I believe I'm taking back what's mine.
And when I was researching your opponent, the thing that probably stood out to me the most was his ability to finish fight. Every single victory he had is via stoppage. So when you're training for an opponent like that, who you know is going to come out and really, push the pace and look for that finish, do you kind of change your fighting style at all, or the way you train to kind of adapt to that sort of ruthless style? Because it's something you don't see a lot in amateur, especially as someone who's got a 100% finish record. Do you change your training at all, or you're not really focused too much on that?
I mean, if you look at the caliber of guys he's been fighting, I kind of expect him to finish them. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, you can only fight the guys that are put in front of you. So I don't know the reasoning behind it, but I mean, if you compare the guys we fought, it's night and day. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the guy comes out, he expects early finishes, but he's in there with a completely different kettle of fish this time. And I think he knows that it's a very big step up. If you look at the caliber I've been fighting compared to him, I think he's the one making the step up here, not me. I've been fighting guys with highlight reels and the best guys in the UK and Europe my whole career. So I feel like this is the first time for him. He's actually fighting a real other prospect because I've been doing prospect fights my whole career, whereas I feel like this is his first one. So we'll see how he handles it.
And so, as you mentioned, you're looking to reclaim your title, and there's a famous saying in MMA that it's almost harder to defend the belt than to win the belt. So, from your experience being the hunter and being the hunted, would you say that's true?
I think whoever I get in there with, I'm the one hunting them. So whether I had the belt or whether he had the belt, I'd be going in there to do the exact same thing, which is to dominate the fight, take a finish if it presents itself. But yeah, I mean, the belt. I said this last time I fought for the belt. It's a cherry on top. You know, it's great. Like the other belt sat right there. It'd be nice to have it sat right next to it. But you know, like what's most important at amateur is fighting good people. And although Darnell, I don't believe has fought the best guys yet, I believe he is a very dangerous and skilled opponent. So that is why I'm excited to fight him. Um, so yeah, I just think it's a big fight and a big name for me to take out. And the belt is just the cherry on top. It'll be nice to say I'm a two-time Cage Warriors Academy champion, but when all is said and done with me in the sport, no one is going to be talking about what I did as an amateur. So the belt, if it wasn't on the line, I'd be coming to do the same thing.
And you mentioned there how the belt doesn't really mean much, and I think that's a good mindset to have. I think people get too chased up on the thought of having titles as amateur. Like you said, it's once again when you think about it, when you scroll on Tapology and you look at a fighter's record, you never really scroll into their amateur career, really, are you? No one, it doesn't really matter. It all gets refreshed. It all come back to zero. However, being the champion that you were, did it teach you anything about yourself and the mindset and also because you've always had this since when I first met you, you've always had this elite level mindset. Doesn't matter the setbacks you've had or any of the challenges you've faced, you've always been dialed in. But when you were champion, what did that teach you anything about yourself that you believe that you didn't know you had at the time?
100%. When I won the belt, I 100% let it get to my head. I 100% looked past Sam Hadley when I went for the second title last year. It was like, I'll beat this guy, go pro. Like I was just completely looking past that fight, which is crazy because I knew Sam was a good fighter. I was just overestimating myself. Do you know what I mean? So it was just a case of I had to be a bit more patient, had to work on lots of things. Obviously, I lost again to another very good opponent, Respa. So yeah, this year I've grown more than I've ever grown as a person and as a fighter. And I think it showed in my last fight, winning every single round. And I still felt I could have done more, you know. So it's just been this year, like taking my time, not fighting back to back to back to back. Although I don't regret that, I got great experience in the process of doing that. I just felt like I needed a little time to just work on things to bring the fun back to it in the sense of I've grown so much my skill set because I was trying new stuff in the gym. There's less pressure, and honestly, I'm excited because in my last fight I only showed a little bit of the improvements, and I've got even better since then. So there's just a lot that's going to get shown that people don't know about, and honestly, it's an exciting feeling. It's almost like he's not in on the joke, but we'll see.
And when we spoke yesterday, you were saying how your mindset has changed. Now you're dialed in the fact that Darnell is trying to take your dreams away from you. What has sort of led to that change in mindset and to give that even added extra bit of killer instinct? Is it someone from something someone in the gym has said to you, or is it something you just developed by yourself?
Well, yeah, I guess it's a combination of the way my coaches have helped me and the people around me have helped me throughout how I've developed this year. And it's just, yeah, it's weird. I used to get basically no nerves for fights, and I've lost fights going in there, not nervous, not switched on, kind of just like, oh, I'm just doing this thing I do every day. But now, I'm someone who does better where I'm under pressure. I have to tell myself now, this guy is trying to take my dreams away. He's trying to crush everything I've been building for years. Do you know what I mean? I have to do that to switch myself on, and that's something I've learned. Um, so yeah, some people it's weird. Some people get too nervous, some people are too calm. My thing was I was a bit too calm, but now I've got that balance, and I feel like I'm learning more and more that fighting is just about balance. So yeah, that's my mindset. Like I've had some conversations with my coaches. I know I'm in a good spot. I know a big win and the potential to turn pro, which has been a lifelong dream of mine, is there. But I have to take this guy out, and in emphatic fashion for that to happen. So it's a matter of this guy stood in the way of my dreams. It's nothing personal. I respect Darnell. I think he's a sound guy, but he's just that body that's in front of me, and he's just that obstacle that's in the way. So I'm going to take it out.
And the win against Darnell puts you right back into the top guys at 135 pounds. It puts you right in the mix with the top 10 in the country, in my opinion. Because like you said, even though you mentioned that he might not have fought the same caliber as you, he has got a good record at 6-1. That's impressive, no matter how you look at it, really. And so a
Yeah,
win against him is huge for yourself. And you've expressed your desire to go pro. We've spoke about it in the past. And so obviously, I know you're not looking past Darnell, but let's just talk hypothetically. A win happens next week on Saturday. Is it pro likely next for you going to 2026?
yeah, definitely turning pro next year, but it's the point at which that happens, right? It all depends on the performance. I want to go out there and put on a performance that represents my true skill level. So yeah, but it all just depends. Like I was saying, I'm not planning past this, like it all depends on this performance and the exchanges that happen on the night. Nothing else matters. Don't matter how good you are in training or any of this. All that matters is when you get in there and you fight, and everyone can see. That's where you show everyone who you are, right? So yeah, I mean, I beat this guy in the way I believe I'm going to, then the world's my oyster next year.
And one thing that's eluded you so far in your MMA career is a victory by a finish. I know it's something you've really, really pushed for in your past fights. Something I know, I can see it in your face when I talk to you. You want to get that finish, man. You want to come to take people's heads off. And so let's just say that once again, hypothetically, this was to be the last one. How much of a cherry on top would that be to finish Darnell and also finish your career with a title?
Yeah, I mean, that's the dream scenario, right? Early night and another belt. But yeah, look, I've got a dangerous guy across from me. We're both coming to do the same thing. I know he wants to take me out. I want to take him out. But yeah, it definitely does feel full circle, Like I felt like I tried to speed run amateur MMA a little bit last year, came up short for the second title at the end of the year, had to take a step back, had another year in the amateurs that we're now coming to the end of. And here I am fighting for that second belt again. So it kind of feels like this is how it was meant to be. Kind of one of those people I've almost got to mess it up a little bit to get it all back, kind of thing. I feel like this is how it's meant to be, but I've got to get in there and perform to the best of my abilities. I'm not saying all of this is predetermined. I'm just saying everything's falling into place as it should be, and I feel like I'm ready to put on the performance of a lifetime.
Well, that's one thing I think when especially when people talk about records, I'm not one for when I speak to people, especially at amateur shows, and they're bringing up records, I immediately kind of discredit that conversation. I think records, unless someone's like 0-9 and have lost every single fight, if someone's 3-3 or 6-0, it doesn't really matter to me. You need the most important thing, like you mentioned there, is who you fought. It's what amateurs all about, I think. And if you look at your record, you have fought the who's who of featherweights and bantamweights. You've fought some incredible fighters, some very high level competition. And I think that especially when you do go pro, that's going to give you something that a lot of these amateur guys who are newly turned pros won't have. They'll go in there expecting they might go in there say the 7-0. They'll go in there think, oh, I'm the man. I'm gonna smash everyone. I beat everyone at amateur easy. But if you look at the records, they're fighting people who are 0-0, 1-2. These guys are, and then they go in there and like a deer in headlights. Whereas you'll go in there, you'll feel comfortable. And so, was that something that you were aware of kind of early on in your career? Was to kind of fight the best, no matter how much? Is that I believe that's sort of the mentality you guys have over a GB top team because when you look at the guys, all these other amateur fighters, like Benadoz is a great example. I mean, there's not many more people at amateur who've had better careers than Benadozi. He's been unbelievable. He's fought the who's who. So is that something that's kind of drilled into you at GB top team?
100%. Yeah, Brad says it. No one cares about your amateur record. Like, fight the best guys, have tough fights, get put in situations in fights, make mistakes, learn, grow. And it's not even just in the fights, like the weight cuts, the fight camps, the preparation, working around injuries, life events happening. You know what I mean? Like, amateurs is just your apprenticeship as a fighter, as he would say. So yeah, and the gym I was at before, Lions Den fighters, Dave Matthews, had the exact same mentality. So my whole MMA career, I've always been right. You're fighting the toughest guys. We're not padding records. Like, that's always been instilled in me. So I've always believed that um, is the way of doing things. So you see fighters who are out there padding their records, and I just think it's embarrassing. No one knows about amateur fighting in MMA except like us people involved in this. No one else cares. Like, only if you get to the very top of the pro levels like UFC and stuff, the general public care. So if you're padding your record to be like 10-0 as an amateur fighting in leisure centers, I just think you really need to have a conversation with yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I'm in it to fight the best guys, take risks, and show my level. And that's all I've ever believed in doing in this sport. Yeah.
And if you could give, let's say you could go back in time and you could give yourself advice going to your first time amateur fight, what would you tell yourself?
Just let it happen. Just let it happen. Don't dwell too much on your opponent, what he's going to do. Don't just overthink. Just get in there. Your body does the rest. Once you're in there, it's reflexes, it's instinct, it's what you do every single day, but just with more intent, right? But with the first time you go into it, it's an alien experience, like anything. Like, if you gave me a violin right now and said, "Players, I've never played a violin in my life," do you know what I mean? I'd be nervous as. So it's the same like with anything. Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to experience something to get familiar with it, and it's like the second time bit more familiar, third time, but here we are, my 10th amateur MMA fight. Like, I've just been through this so many times. I know how it feels in there. I know what I'm getting myself into. I'm just very familiar with this whole process and very comfortable with it. But also, I have that right awareness of the severity of the situation, which maybe I've downplayed in the past. It's just a fight. That you got to remind yourself you're in a dangerous game and across from a dangerous guy. Do you know what I mean? So it's that balance, switched on but calm, and I feel like experience is the best teacher in the sport. So if it was giving advice to the first ever fight, just keep on fighting.
My final question is, and I think you know this question's coming, what is your prediction for fight night?
I believe me winning my second Cage Warriors Academy title, and I believe I do it in an emphatic fashion. Look, I've got a dangerous guy across from me. It's not going to be an easy fight, but I believe it's going to be a fight that I dominate and that I show levels.
Well, Dacre, I want to thank you for coming on. It's a pleasure as always, man. Like you said, it's getting close to fight whenever we have these conversations, and I want to wish you the best luck. And if, like I said, if this is the last amateur fight for yourself, I want to congratulate you on an incredible career, mate. Like on amateur, because like I said, I've seen many people go in this sport now who haven't challenged themselves or have let losses get the better of them. But since day one when I've met you, mate, your mindset's never changed. The goal's been the same. It should be to be the best version of yourself that you can, to push yourself, and you've always done that. And so that's one thing I want to commend you for, mate. It's been incredible to see. Like I said, I just want to wish you the best of luck, mate, for next week.
No, I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you. You're going to see the best one yet.